Respected Rector UMT Dr. Asif Raza, DG UMT Abid Sharwani, Dr. Mujahid Kamran, senior faculty members, deans, CODs, heads of university management offices, and members of the staff and faculty. Assalamu alaikum rahmatullah. I want to first of all thank the organizers for giving me the opportunity to speak today and for inviting me to this event and for conceiving this event. And as far as I am aware, I think it was Mr. Tawfiq Ahmed's idea, who's now the director of archives, and I think he's done a fairly good job. It's a marvelous job, and I think you deserve a round of acknowledgement and applause, because up till now, I think this is the first anniversary that we are celebrating, and it's not an even number, it's not a milestone, it's 32. So that's also something, but we'll try to enjoy the day, and we're glad we're all here. So then as far as UMT is concerned, the charter for UMT was given in 2002, and the charter for ILM was given in 2002, and the charter for UMT was given in 2004. So UMT now has a journey of about, I think, 18 years, if I'm correct, right? And ILM, which was established in 1990, now has a journey of about 32 years. And 32 years is not like a small, period of time. It is 3 decades. But if you look at it from like an individual's perspective, it is considered a decent period of time, 32 years. But if you look at it from the lens of the world, or if you look at it from the lens of humanity, or if you look at it from the lens of when God made its first creation, this is just a very minuscule point in the reference of history and in the reference of time. And if you look at it from a perspective of educational institutions, then you will also realize that this is not a time frame which is a huge time frame. And I was one day doing research on the history of universities, and I found out that the first university was established in the 8th century in Fez and all the ladies in the audience will feel proud because it was established by a female scholar named in Morocco, in Fez, Fatima Al-Fihri. So then you look at other institutions of learning which were established by the church, like KU Leuven, like the University of Oxford, and like other universities which are now 1200 years old. And if you look at a university which has a history of, let's say, 1000 years, or if you look at a university which has a history of 800 years, and then you look at us, and we only were established in 2004. So we have we cannot be compared in terms of the legacy or the history that they have, but the growth and the trajectory with which UMT is growing and with which ILM has grown is it's commendable and it's exemplary. Because if you look at the history and if you see that some universities were established by the government, and the government in Pakistan gave them land from, let's say, Muslim town till Thogar Niaz Beg, and when they ended up measuring it, they found out it was like 5,000 canals or something. 2,300. And then similarly, some universities were established in the US, which were land grant universities. These were the first universities. And if you look at their campus size is not in the acres. It is in the square kilometers. So and there are some universities in the US which have their own airports. And I was looking at Purdue University one day, and they have their own airport, and they have a fleet of 32 aircrafts. And then this other university called Texas A&M, which works with the US military in the research, they have their own train station. So this is the size of the universities in the world, and this is the history of the universities of the world. But just to give a perspective, we are now ranked in the top 500 universities in Asia. And inshallah, I'm very sure our 2030 target is to be in the top 100 universities of Asia. And the growth that we have taken, the path that we have chosen, is a path of hard work, and it's a path of struggle, and it's a path of determination, and it's a path of perseverance. And this will require great amount of grit, because mediocrity cannot produce excellence. And what we have to do is we have to rise up to this challenge, and we have to rise up to this opportunity. And do not, I say this, do not link anything with the organization. Think of your own self. Start with your own self. See what you want to do in your life. Do you want to achieve greatness? Don't think of UMT. Think of yourself. Think of your nation. Think of your religion. That we should do things which bring a good name, which bring good fame to our religion, to our nation, and we do things that contribute towards society. So this should be our goal, and this should be our mission, and this should be our vision. And if I remember correctly, ILM's first vision was that we wanted individuals to realize their true God-given potential. So let's say, even if we start with ourselves, it is being self-centric. So let's flip things, and let's focus on the individuals. Let's focus on mankind. Let's focus on our country. Let's focus on everyone who's around. Let's focus on the youth. Let's focus on the future of the country. Let's focus on future of Pakistan, because this is what is most important. If you read the vision of ILM, which was drafted in 1990, this vision is very empathetic, and it promotes service to others. So with this identity, and with this vision, and with this mission, inshallah, if we adopt this objective, then inshallah we will succeed, and it will bring great results for the country, for the institution, for yourselves, for the community, for everyone at large. And I'm sure we all know that the objective of UMT is to create a real world impact by solving societal issues through research, learning, and thought leadership. And this is the purpose of universities. I say this very often, that UMT is not, and will not, and does not want to be like a tuition center, where students come in and they go take degrees and that's it. We need to focus on research, and we need to focus on research that creates an impact in society. And one of the reasons I've gone through a lot of reports from the 50s, from the 70s. I've heard speeches of all the historic great leaders, and there's one thing which is common in all their speeches. No matter you pick up a speech which is from the 50s, which is from the 60s, Ayub Khan, you take Zulfikar Ali Bhutto, you take Ziaul Haq, you take Benazir, you take Mian Nawaz Sharif's speech from 1993, you take any speech, all of them say, मुल्क बहुत मुश्किल हालात से गुजर रहा है. So this is something which we've been listening to, and this is something which we've been hearing and reading since the inception of the country. But what is the solution? We know that today also मुल्क जो है ना बड़े मुश्किल हालात से गुजर रहा है. So what is the key to unlocking the future, to unleashing the true potential? The key lies in Pakistan transitioning towards the knowledge economy. all the countries and nations of the world who were at par with us till the 70s, and those who have turned things around and are now in one of the leading nations of the world, transition towards a knowledge economy. And what is the foundation of transitioning towards a knowledge economy? The transition is based on research. This transition towards being a knowledge economy is based on research, and research is based on innovation. So whichever nations will be the most innovative and whichever nations will focus the most on research, they will succeed and they will excel in this world. The current status in which we are in, Pakistan, the majority of our exports are raw materials. We do not engage in value addition, and the global market, which is about, I think if you look at it, it's in trillions and trillions of dollars. 2/3 is only value added goods. 1/3 is raw material, and our majority exports 2/3 plus is raw material. So value addition, the basis of value addition is knowledge. The basis of value addition is innovation, and the basis of value addition is research. So our organization's objective is linked with national progress. So when you think of why you exist and why you work and why you are at UMT and why you are in higher education, you should know why you exist, you should know why you work, and do not work for us. I'm saying I know you all work for UMT, but do not work for us. Work for this country. We all know we are going through difficult circumstances, and they will, inshallah, very soon we will see that there will be improvement and there will be betterment and there will be prosperity. But the key lies in your hand. The key to prosperity, the key to success, and the key to, inshallah, being in one of the leading nations of the world. We only have to focus on knowledge, research, and innovation. So this is this is what I wanted to, randomly, some of the ideas that I want to share with you all today, that we should have the compass and the focus right. We all have limited resources. Economics is about, what is the definition of economics? Economics is management of resources efficiently, and you have limited resources. Even if you look at the United States, they are, they're expected to go into recession. EU and all the other countries of the world. This is the circumstances that we're in. But we have to, through innovative solutions, create a new model, deliver innovative products, create innovative services, and then through that we can achieve, inshallah, global recognition and international acclaim and fame. So our target is very clear, that we need to be amongst the leading universities of the world by 2030. We already are, alhamdulillah, in the top 500. But our competition is not with any other, with universities in the country. Our competition is with countries throughout the world. Our competition is with universities spread across Asia, with universities spread across the world. So we are in a competitive environment, and we need to do our best. We need to put in extra hard work. I know very well that smart working is the key word, and this is what one should do. But I was just reflecting last week that my office, let's say, what we achieve in a week, people do it in 2 weeks. What we'll achieve in a year, people will need 2 years to achieve that. So this is very important, the pace of growth. And when we look at the past 5-6 decades, this is something which we realize, that other nations with the same size of brain, it is not that the Chinese have a bigger brain. Maybe if you look at it very, scientifically, maybe the size is even smaller. But they have excelled, and they have taken 400 million people out of poverty. and they are leading the world in terms of their products, services, in terms of their universities. I was reading information about a university in China, and they had 12 million square feet of built up area, and they only had 3,000 students. So look at where they were 7 decades ago. They were in the fields farming, and right now they are. So this is all related to hard work, innovation, knowledge, emphasis on knowledge and research. And we ourselves also need to focus on it, and the universities in Pakistan hold the key to success and prosperity. This is my conclusion. And you are the most important factors, the most important pillars of society. And only you can take the nation forward. It is not one individual. It is not anyone. No leader will come and, in 5 years' time or 10 years' time, they will transform Pakistan into Finland. This will not happen. We have to start with ourselves, and we have to, get going. And they say, when the going gets tough, the tough get going. And Dr. Hasan Murad is obviously an example. He didn't have any resources. He started with 2 rented rooms, and he only had 200,000 rupees, which was borrowed from his father's friend. And from that, you start and you struggle and you show perseverance. And then there were many times there were no funds for even 6 months at a length. And once he said, I remember and this was not a long time ago. He said, this was probably in 2009 or 10. He said, I think it's time to take immigration for Canada. Because things were in such a they were such a crucial stage, and things were so difficult and so tough. But he never lost, and he always had high spirits. He had a big vision, and he had big dreams, and he had the hard work and the perseverance to back it. And this is the reason for his success and how he achieved his dreams. So you too all know the formula for success, and you too are great, and you can even be greater. And this is the route which everyone needs to take. So I'd like to thank everyone else who's obviously been on a journey, but a special thanks to the people who were in the early years. And the most special thanks is obviously goes to Abid Saab, who's been with the institution through thick and thin. And there hasn't been any moment where we haven't seen that he has not risen up and he's not supported UMT or contributed. His contributions are immense. And all the other people also who were in the early days and who are still with us till now, people who joined in the 90s and people who have joined recently also, you are all very important, and you are all key players in the growth and future of the country and the institution, and your contributions are very valuable. I want to acknowledge this fact that we may not be able to acknowledge it in other ways, but I want to say it very openly and very clearly that do not think that you are not valued, and do not think that your contributions are not acknowledged. From the lowest cadre to the highest cadre, I am trying to keep myself aware of what is going on, and I know that everyone is extremely focused. They are extremely professional, and they have some have put their lives into it, some have putting day and night into their work, and they are very passionate. And this is the most important attribute which one must have, and that is to be passionate about what you do, because then work doesn't feel like work. And when you have a focus, like I said before, when you have a vision which aligns with national progress, which aligns with the future prosperity of the country, then inshallah there is no doubt that we will not progress. Thank you very much.